So today I feel like talking again, and I recently saw something that triggered in me this urge to speak on this subject, and I chose this title for this video because I heard this specific statement so many times in my life directed towards me when I was obese. I heard it in some videos. I even saw this on a t-shirt in an online retailer clothing store, and that was just kind of mind-blowing for me. I will say this from the beginning: this is very offensive. And going back to the title of this video, I think probably 90% no, it's not a choice. There is a reason why you gain a lot of fat, and those reasons can be, of course, physical or psychological. And those reasons can be really hard to kind of solve or to deal with them. In many cases, the person that is gaining lots of weight, especially in a shorter period of time, they don't even understand what is going on. They don't understand that, they have a problem or that there is a problem. Everyone knows, in theory, what they should do in order to lose fat. So why nobody is doing it? So why it's not working? Why we have this epidemic of obesity, especially there in the US? You guys have a really big problem with this. And it's not about the look, it's not about if you are a bit more curvy or you have that extra 5 kilograms that on your ass, or I don't know, on your whatever, or maybe if you have some cellulite or some stretch skin, stretch marks, loose skin, whatever. I'm talking about, really people that have lots of fat on their body and they cannot do anything about it. So let's start with the first reason, emotional eating. Here everything is pretty simple. People like to suppress, to soothe negative emotions, negative feelings through food. And usually this happens through unhealthy food options. And that is because it's just easy. You don't need to work on yourself. You don't need to solve that problem. You don't need to solve that relationship with, a person in your life, your family or friends or whatever. You just go to the store, you see all that amazing looking kind of food, your brain is telling you, yes, this is what we need right now. You will feel better if you eat this. And you eat it, of course. Especially in today's food industry, everything is made to be super addictive. Those sugar-loaded products with lots of fructose, glucose syrup, and you don't even realize, but at the end you have an addiction, and it's as strong as being, a drug addict or something like this. And a lot of the times this emotional eating is followed by guilt and shame, and in the end you just end up eating more and craving more. Next up, we have hormonal problems. And here I would like to mention a few. So firstly, we have the leptin and ghrelin combination. So leptin is made mostly in our adipose tissue, and it travels through the circulatory system. It's kind of like a communicator in a way, because it goes to our hypothalamus and tells him, okay, we have enough fat, or okay, we don't have enough fat. Basically telling our brain that we either need to start eating more to gain more fat, or we need to stop eating. So ideally, the more fat you have, the more leptin you produce, and the less you will eat, or the less your body will want to, will want you to produce more fat and eat more. But unfortunately, with everything in our organisms, you can become leptin resistant. So you have lots of fat, you're producing all this amount of leptin, but your brain is not getting the signals, and in fact is telling you, okay, you should eat more because you don't have enough fat. And it's kind of the same idea with insulin resistance. So you produce a lot of insulin, especially with a high carb, eating lots of meal per day kind of diet, but your brain stopped listening. You kind of store more and more of what you eat as fat. Quickly mentioning here the thyroid hormones, but I'm sure that people, that watch this kind of videos on YouTube, if you're watching this, you are already aware of why the thyroid hormones are so important, not only for our body weight situation, but also our mood, and especially everything related to a feminine body, a normal functioning feminine body. Also our little friend cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So cortisol increases our blood sugar levels temporarily, so it gives us like a quick burst of energy for those fight or flight kind of situations. The problem with cortisol starts when it's elevated frequently, because after a while it just disrupts our blood glucose control, and more blood glucose means more insulin. More insulin means no fat burning. Another reason that I experienced myself, of course, many times in my life, overeating. Look, people are social creatures. We like going out. We like, spending some time with our friends, with our family. We like, to go to events. There's always food involved. You see everyone eating and you want to eat as well because you want to enjoy that. And what do? You play games, you eat. You watch a movie, you eat. You engage in a conversation and you also eat. Because food makes everything kind of appear better. Even the most not boring but awkward conversations get better with food. And after a while you realize that you were eating for 3-4 hours non-stop. But you also had 3-4 meals before that and 2-3 snacks. So your mitochondria are going nuts as well as your insulin. Here you can probably say, okay, but this is kind of your choice if you want to eat or if you don't want to eat. So you decide what to do. And some people can do this and some people cannot. In some situations, it's extremely hard to do this. And sometimes this even comes automatically. You kind of eat automatically and you don't even realize that you are doing it. Interesting one. The genetic code or genetics. You may have some genes that are not helping you with this weight gain situation. I have a couple here, but I will just keep this short, and I would like to mention one gene, MAOA. This gene produces an enzyme that helps our bodies to process the key neurotransmitters, dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. And if you have a fast MAOA, it means that you get rid of all these neurotransmitters too quickly. You eliminate them too quickly from your body. To replenish serotonin, you need tryptophan that is largely found in carbohydrates. So you crave and you want to eat more carbs. But here is the deal. Tryptophan transforms into serotonin only if you are not under stress and if you don't have any kind of inflammation in your body. So you don't have enough dopamine and norepinephrine to deal with your stress. Your stress is eating your tryptophan and you still have massive sugar, carb cravings. You have tremendous mood swings, mild depression sometimes, and you overeat. And this leads to what? Gaining again more body fat. Here, let's not forget that if problems like obesity, insulin resistance, diabetes run in your family, if you don't eat correctly, if you don't have a personalized approach to your eating and what exactly you should eat and how you should eat, you will end up having those problems as well. These are some of the reasons I wanted to discuss today. Of course, there are many more, especially when we're talking about obesity, kids, teenagers. I strongly believe that also has to do with how that kid was raised, what was his relationship with their parents, friends, his community in which he grew up. Also, what was the idea of nutrition in the family, and how he basically grew up, what was his lifestyle and everything. I think this also plays a massive role in how you develop later and what you think about all these things later in life. but I will just leave it, here, because I can speak for hours, I guess. But with all this being said, I must add that, if people were eating healthy, whole foods, nutrient-dense foods from the beginning, they wouldn't even have some of these problems that can lead to obesity and, diabetes and so on. We may have really bad genes, really shitty genes, like me, but if you eat correctly for you, if you eat personalized for you, for your body, this meal consisting of real foods, if you, have an active lifestyle, if you sleep well, you will not have any of these problems. Your hormones, they get imbalanced because of what? Because of how you eat, because of your lifestyle, how you sleep. So don't wait until you need to treat the disease. Try to avoid it in the first place. So yeah, that was, some things that I had in my mind that I wanted to discuss about today. Of course, this is like an open discussion. I encourage you to share some of your thoughts, to also express yourself in the comments. I know everyone is different. We all have our own views about nutrition, about bodies and all these things that I mentioned today. But this is just some of the things that I have in my mind after doing lots of research and learning about it, studying about this at university as well, and going through that obesity phase and having lots of problems with insulin and hormonal and all of that for a good majority of my life, more than half my life. So yeah, let's have a discussion. I will see you in my next video.